listening, yo.
Ajax are
Bruh.
gonna win the
We're
Champions
live,
League.
guys. We're live. So again, as you all know, guys, the Hangouts normally occurs every Sunday, and I try and stick to that. But there are times in which very special, specific things happen, which must be addressed. So there are two reasons why I had to call this Hangout. By the way, Muntar, I am proud that you're here. Unfortunately, Red should be here, but we still always on the hope that Red does appear because he said that he was going to come. So, this first thing this has to be done is because of what special things happen. Because I believe that we have seen a moment in which a club's era has ended. And the second thing, two people owe me apologies, Ford and Jujuman. So before we actually go forth and we actually divulge just what the hell happened, I'm going to start with Ford. Ford, can you please give me my apology, please?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. Wow. I mean, what did they hope, boys? I mean, first and foremost,
I didn't crack a joke. I don't know why you're laughing. Can you please apologize?
Look, your apology has already been drafted up. I will have it posted on the TL by tonight. But as for the game, I mean, it was
not on here.
Let's go to the game. Just give me your apology first.
Yeah.
Look, I would like to humbly apologize for questioning your judgment on the Real Madrid Ajax tie. I should have known better. I should have listened to your words, and I truly and humbly apologize.
Jujuman.
Double H, I haven't recovered yet. Like, I'm still shocked. I am still shocked.
I don't
Me too, bro. Yo, it's crazy, bro.
Wait,
It's
Double H, I think I need a moment. Like, I'm still shocked. What just happened? Like, I'm starting to have second doubt.
Ajax beat Madrid 4-1.
4-1. Yeah, just
Please apologize.
all right. Okay. The prospect. Like, look, Ajax, they did well. Like, I'm still shocked, and I apologize because. I mean, I didn't expect this, and I apologize. You were correct, Double H.
Thank you.
Okay, so that's out of the way. So, all right, you know what? First thing is first. Let's just start off with this. So let's just start off with a nice, easy question. So it was 4-1. Who was shocked by the result? And who wasn't that shocked? So, actually, rather, on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being super shocked, 1 being not that shocked. On a scale of 1 to 5, how shocked were you by Ajax's performance and the results? I'll start with Barca. Remember, 5 is super shocked, 1 is mini shocked. Barca.
Bro, I was super shocked, yo. Like, my whole entire century, I've never seen Real Madrid get knocked out of round of 16s, bro. Like, this is the first time. Like, you know, and
How
the funny
how
thing
old are
is,
you?
Wait, easy.
Look, the thing here is, so like I turned on my computer, right? And then I saw like she only scored like a flipping free kick against Real Madrid, which was the last goal, and I was like, my God, you know, like what the heck is going on, Real Madrid? For me, this is such a shocking result. Like I still can't believe it. Like it's like the whole heavens is coming down. This is how I see it. The whole heavens is
Just saying it 5.
Huh?
You're saying
Was it?
on a scale of 1 to 5, how shocked are you? 5 being the most, 1 being the least.
5 being the most, man. I feel like the world is about to end, yo. Like
right.
when I saw this result, it was about
Darren, your reaction to that. So on a scale of 1 to 5, how shocked were you by the results and Ajax's performance?
I'll give it a 3 because I am surprised because it's 4-1, and Real Madrid are at home, but at the same time, the back-to-back losses to Barcelona, the performances sort of Couture in net, like oh my God, no, it's just it's a dip in Real Madrid. Ronaldo's gone, and look what's happened. I'm not saying it's all him, but oh wow,
It's all him.
it basically is. But now it is embarrassing. It's borderline embarrassing. They are the champ. the holders and they're losing this. Yeah, for me, it's
HA, this is worse to losing to Roma, yo. This is really worse.
oh,
It's worse than losing to Roma.
they're
Oh,
round
Yo,
16 and they're the
okay,
holders.
so Darren, you've said if Rich is actually interested in the way you said it, I actually like your reasoning because because personally for me, I would actually give it a 5, but I'll tell you which one I'll give it. So forward, scale of 1 to 5, how shocked?
But Ajax's performance probably a 3, and that's not taking anything away from their performance. I mean, I never said that they were just prospects. I never said that they were just kids. Ajax have amazing players and a lot of players who are going to be top players in Champions League football for many years to come. I think what surprised me most was Real Madrid. I thought like they would react, and especially after what happened in both our Clásicos. This is their tournament. This is what they've prided themselves on for the last 5 years, and they've always managed to turn up, no matter what form, no matter which players were injured or suspended. They always managed to turn up in these games, and Ajax came proper, and Real Madrid just didn't turn up. So I was more shocked by Real Madrid and their lack of performance, if anything. So yeah, that's also how I saw it.
Okay, so you're going to give it a 3.
Yeah, just a 3. I mean, if you're talking about Real Madrid's performance, I'll probably give that a 5 out of 5. I mean, that was as bad as it's ever been, and I've watched Real Madrid for many years, and I've not seen them perform that bad, other than against Barcelona and maybe a couple of Clásicos. But I mean, that was just embarrassing.
All right, Hazem.
I would say 4 because obviously it was extremely surprising that the scoreline, but I don't think the scoreline represents the game. Obviously, Ajax were the better team. They outperformed them, especially in the first half. But I felt there were many stages in the game where Madrid were attacking and the Ajax defended really well. And the goal, that was an atrocious decision. I don't know how that was a goal. The Ajax's third goal, that was a complete, and that obviously was a big blow mentally. So
I agree.
yeah. So I would say Madrid got robbed, but Ajax.
Whoa. We can't be saying
Yeah.
that. Nah.
Let me backtrack.
I
So
disagree.
No,
if
they
it
still
wasn't, do you believe that Real Madrid would have come back?
I believe it's possible, but look, it changed. I believe they would. Yeah, they would have been able to. Yeah, because mentally it's a huge blow if you get such a goal allowed. So yeah, I would say Ajax still deserve to win, but I would say the scoreline definitely doesn't show the game.
All right,
Okay.
I think I'm on a 5 on the scale of 1 to 5. 5, I'm shocked. And with the disallowed goal, I mean, it wasn't a goal, but I mean the way Ajax played, you can't give Madrid a way back. Like they just had to. Plus, considering the fast leg, so with that, I think they did well. And with Madrid, I mean, I think the praise goes to the Ajax coach. Like he eliminated Casemiro from the game. Like he tactically eliminated
agree.
Casemiro from the game. And
Yeah.
and what's it called? And
MADBRICK.
the Carvajal. I think it needs to be inducted. And Carvajal needs to be inducted in the Brick Academy. Like Neres just destroyed him in that side. Like he was just, I don't know what Carvajal's job is to do, because every time Modric is the last person before Ajax scores. So I'm like, where's Carvajal? Like, why is Modric the last person?
We'll get to
Wait, one more. And as for Modric, Modric has to be one of the worst Ballon d'Ors I've ever seen. Next.
We'll get to the specific. We'll get to the specific. Machine, scale of 1 to 5, how shocked?
Shocked, 0.
Whoa, oh, come on, Machine. Give me a
Come
break.
on,
No, I'm not shocked at all. I'm mildly, listen, I'm mildly surprised at the extent of the goal. How many goals? The difference in goals. But I'm not shocked, man. I mean, I even predicted. Me and Red predicted this in that Real were going to be out. So it's just a matter of how emphatically Ajax managed to do it. That's surprising, but it's not shocking. It's not shocking. I mean, this has been a long time in the works, man. As soon as Ronaldo left and they got a replacement for him, and Perez decided to go get a goalkeeper nobody cared about and nobody wanted, and Vinicius, who nobody's ever heard of. It was just bound to happen.
Okay. All right, Montaha.
Yeah, man. I will go for 3.5, man. First of all, yeah, I'll tell you why. The reason is, like, I know we played, Barcelona defeated us in back-to-back games, but we performed good. There was some kind of positive notes, yeah, I would have taken from that game. And like the performance of Vinicius and the way Casemiro performed in that game against Barcelona. So I was expecting some kind of positive notes, yeah. But there was nothing in this game. Defense was crap. And look, this is what we have, Varane. Sergio Ramos is saving his ass from last 6, 7 seasons, and he's not getting the credit. This guy is not a mental leader. This guy is not a leader to lead the defense. Our defense was all over the place. There was no organization in defense. Like it was shambolic performance. I would say that because of defense, we lost this game. The way, like, yeah.
Well,
So, like, come on.
the defense and the utterly inept attack.
Okay, okay, all right, okay, wait, we'll get back to okay. Stats was scale of 1 to 5. Hard shots.
1 to 5. I wouldn't know. I mean 6, I guess.
Whoa.
Yeah, because
He
I
said 1
know
to 5.
I
He said 1
just
to 5.
Six, no,
yeah,
6 is
I
fine.
was just
6 is
That's not a
I
1 to
was
5.
actually yeah that's
You know how to count?
yeah it's math. I would say. Yeah, I don't know. So basically, I was just basically it's just a disgraceful performance. I mean, I never expected Real Madrid. I mean, obviously that Barcelona lost. That's I mean, sun rises in the east and they lose at Santiago Bernabeu. That's actually a usual thing. But still, this loss. I mean, I never expected that. And actually, props should be given to the manager. I mean, how they neutralized Casemiro's movement in that midfield and just improved their performance from the last first leg. And Neres and Tapic, I mean, they should be given a lot of credit. I mean, I should be celebrating with my friends, but I don't.
all right. Okay. So basically, for me, I would say a 3.5, same as
Not
Monta.
me.
There is oh Daniel, I'm so sorry. So Daniel, scale of 1 to 5, how shocks are you?
0. 0.
Oh my god.
I'll tell you why. Because like, if you guys watched the first leg, yeah, by Ajax were very unlucky. Like they
Yeah, that's true.
they
That's
pressed.
true.
They were the better team in that match. I just feel
Yeah.
like they didn't take their chances. And I think
Yeah.
this time they took their chances. So
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. I
Okay.
even tweeted it. I said that if Real Madrid somehow go through, it will be undeserving.
All right. So basically, for me personally, I would say a 3.5. And the reason why I say a 3.5 is that it's still pretty shocking based on they had to react, lowers on the line. But when you just look at those 2 games against Barcelona, you look at, as Daniel said, the first leg, and you look at the fact that Real Madrid have been horrible at the Bernabeu this season, and especially how Ajax play. It is the playing style that Ajax have and how bad the defense was, and Sergio Ramos not being in the team. It wasn't that much of a surprise that Ajax schooled them. It's just that I would say 3.5 because I know that I thought you'd get schooled. I thought that there was a good chance of Ajax throwing out, but to get beaten so badly and to get so destroyed like that, Real Madrid's performance didn't shock me. Like them being that bad, that wasn't a shock because look, these guys have been pretty hopeless for most of this season. So it's just about that Ajax were able to do that. But let's just look at Ajax specifically. So now, again, who would you say was the standout player?
Yo, can I go first on this? Like, I'm sorry, I've not seen him.
Wait, Atlanta, wait, just chill.
Okay,
So again, for you, so who would you say? Because for me, there are many candidates for this, and in my view, I am stuck between Delete and Tadic.
No.
But
No.
I'm gonna have to roll with Tadic because what that guy did on that pitch today was absolutely sensational. You know, his ability of the ball and what he was able to do, the kind of moves that he pulled off, were just flipping things. For me, despite all the big names that Real Madrid have, you know, Modric, Toni Kroos, World Cup, and all that kind of stuff, Tadic easily head and shoulders stood above everyone else in that team. Right. So Barca, who was Ajax's best player, the standout player?
I'm gonna go with Tadic. Tadic was the best player. And actually, no. I'm gonna go with Shioni. I'm gonna go with Shioni's free kick because what a way to knock out Real Madrid. What a way to knock out Real Madrid.
All right, okay. All right, Daniel.
Yeah.
Ajax's best.
It's a combination between Tadic and what's his name, Ziyech. Like Ziyech. They absolutely sauced them at their backyard. They absolutely tore them. They couldn't handle them. I just hope that Liverpool go after Ziyech because he's the type of player that we need.
Very good player. Very, very, very good player. All right, Darren.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be Tadic, man. I saw the game and I can't believe this guy, the same guy at Southampton, doing this to Real Madrid.
It's different teams. It's different teams, different systems.
Mm.
This is obviously a team and a
It's
system in
true.
which he can flourish.
It's true, but I knew the guy had talent, but either Real Madrid had a complete shocker, but the guy he stepped up and he performed, and it was great play by him, man. He was a standout for me.
All right, forward. Best player for Ajax.
I mean, boy, there was a lot of good performances today. I mean, De Jong looked like he was settling into his new training ground. Neres took Carvajal so on that first half. I mean, that was completely disgusting, but you can't look away from Tadic. I mean, that was the best performance I've seen this entire season. Like, second half, everything what he did was flawless. The amount of through balls he was making, passes he was making, the skill for that first goal, even the way he took his goal was unreal. Like, I've not seen a better performance probably even since the start of the World Cup last year. I mean, it was unreal, man. And I always knew this guy had talent. He showed it at Southampton, man. I knew we would see better from him. Yeah, even at the World Cup, I mean, this guy's always been a very good player, a very good technical specification player. And when you're playing with Southampton, when your best players are, let's say, Pele, and Shane Long and all these dead ballers, like, you're not going to see the best out of him. But, you know, in this system of these players, he looks absolutely amazing. So, yeah, Tadic was unreal today.
All right, Hazem.
Yeah, for me, by far, Van de Beek. This guy fucking amazing, man. This guy was controlling the midfield today. Like, De Jong gets credit, but nah, this guy was way better than De Jong today. This guy, the amount of interceptions he made, the amount of times he was making drives forward into the box, he was literally causing the problems in the box, and he was the workhorse in the midfield. Now, for me, he completely controlled this game, Van de Beek. I know Tadic was good, but that also comes down to, as Muntaha said, the really poor defense of Madrid and the no cohesion from the leadership of Ramos. But in terms of Van de Beek, this guy bossed the midfield with Casemiro and Modric, completely bossed it.
Okay, no, look, it's fair, that's fair. Jujima.
My player was Delete, because, I mean, he's 19 years old, and I mean, captaining the team, I think Delete did a good job, because he's solid, and what's it called? I would give Delete, because he has a bright future, so I would give Delete man of the match.
All right, Machine.
I think it's a toss up between it's gonna be Tadic, but De Beek wasn't too far off. He's a tremendous talent, and people seem to have their eyes on him. But you know, I'm not sure if it's Ajax that was amazing or Real Madrid that were so poor that you know they made them look amazing. But like I said,
but the purpose of this is that if you just pick one Ajax player who, because we're going to get to Real Madrid, don't worry. But if
no, sure, then for sure Tadic, yeah, Tadic.
All right, Muntaha.
Tadic, man, come on, man, what a finish, man, for the third goal, man. That goal literally killed all the hopes. So yeah, Tadic, he's the man of the match. Yeah.
All right, Saswa, man of the match.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen a better Champions League performance this season. So a single player, and I think this is the best Champions League match this season as well. But still, give an honorable mention to De Jong and the manager.
Okay, now this will be fun. Break of the game. Let me start. So this obviously will come from Real Madrid.
The whole team.
Easy, Daniel, chill. You can almost name anyone from the Real Madrid team to be the break of the game. I mean, Benzema was trash. Bale was trash when he came on. Vasquez didn't do much. Casemiro wouldn't do much. But you know what? I'm going to say, and this may sound shocking because he's a World Cup winner. Sorry, man. You're kidding me, Varane.
Yeah.
Because
Thank you.
The thing about it is that even if the team is playing badly and everything, as an experienced defender, you have to keep your head. And he was so indisciplined, out of position, lacking composure. And by him constantly coming out of position, so eager to press, so eager to win the ball, failing to win the ball, totally vacating his position, exposing Nacho, who is the less experienced defender. I've got to put the onus on Varane because if I'm looking at the defensive partnership, the experienced defender is the guy that I look at to really hold things down and really marshal things. And Varane, for me, he made so many mistakes and he made it far too easy for Ajax to commonly cut through these boys. So I'm going to say Varane was the break of the game. Barca, who was the worst player? Break of the game.
Perez. Perez
Oh.
was
Why Perez? That's fair. That's fair. Why Perez?
you know, for you guys, you depended on Ronaldo to give you all the goods. The thing is, every new season, you have to recruit. Like, you have to buy new players in order to be competing in the highest level. So, yeah, I think it's going to be Perez, yeah.
All right.
Because they didn't get a replacement for CR7, so, yeah.
Okay. Daniel.
Yeah.
Break of the game. Worst player.
The whole club, the whole regime of Real Madrid.
Relax, mate. What are you talking about, bro?
Like,
The
let
whole
me
Spain.
tell you something.
No,
Let me tell you
listen to me.
something.
This is like
Your club,
after
your
4
club,
seasons,
Daniel,
after
your
9
club,
seasons,
Real
respect
Madrid.
your club, your
Put
club.
some
Real
respect on
Madrid.
Madrid's
Real
name.
Madrid.
Your club.
Put some
Thank you,
respect on
Daniel.
Madrid's name.
Shut
Put some respect on Madrid's name.
Shut up, bro.
salty.
Daniel,
You're
Put some respect on
With
Madrid's
some
name.
respect, you're bottle trouble, man.
You're
No, let him land.
You're
Let him land.
salty.
He's
No,
not
this
salty.
ain't
let
about
him
my
land.
team.
He's
This ain't
seeking
about my
facts.
team. This ain't
Daniel,
about my
okay,
No,
Daniel.
finish, Daniel.
Finish your points. Please,
the
nobody
whole-
interrupts. Just finish your points. No one
the
interrupt.
whole club from top to bottom. The club is a mess. Like, Perez is the most. He should go. If there was, it should be a Guinness Book of Records. He's the worst chairman ever. Perez, like, he's crap. Absolute nonsense, cuz. I could do a better job than this club.
Here.
Okay, interesting. That's fair.
What the heck, bro?
Darren.
I think you hit the nail on the head, man. I have to give it to Varane as well because I think the reason why I was surprised because Real Madrid typically, the times I've watched them anyway, Champions League, they don't always play that well, but they do have a sort of good defense, and I would actually put that on Ramos, I guess, like thing he said earlier. I thought Varane was very good, just like he still is. We can't take that away, but like somebody said, his mentality, his leadership, you'd think he'd be able to keep his head and be able to hold his own, but to concede like, it reminds me of, I know Luis is nowhere near him, but for Chelsea as well, I look at Luis and think you should do better. You should not allow 6 goals or whatever goals to get behind you like that. Varane today, at home at Real Madrid, you can't be letting 4 goals get through you like that. But that's for me. If I'm a Real Madrid fan, I'm embarrassed now. At least lose 3-1 or 2-1, not 4. So yeah, it has to be on Varane. World Cup winner, and he's bottling it like that. That's a joke. Varane.
Forward.
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, I want to do a special shout out to the Real Madrid fans at the stadium because I thought they were terrible. Like, I mean, they could see that the team was under pressure and clearly not at the most confidence, and they just didn't really. It wasn't the atmosphere that you would expect in a Champions League second round, second leg game. So I was just disappointed from that.
What about them? Yeah.
Barcelona fans aren't any better, to be honest. But anyways, I'm on to the actual players who was breaking the game for me. I mean, Benzema was shocking. Modric was shocking. And I mean, I want to pick Casemiro, but if anything, I want to pick Solari because I don't understand the tactics. You had Casemiro playing almost ahead of Modric and Kroos. It didn't really make any sense to me tactically. It was just an absolute shambles, to be honest. Carvajal was terrible as well. I mean, there's just too many to pick from. But I want to pick one. I just had to pick Solari. And again, he needs to be fired on the spot. Like, there's no way he got into that dressing room and he was still manager. Like, he's a disgrace.
Sack him. Gets who then?
You get an interim manager for the meantime because you're not going to get somebody now to try and fix up this mess.
Mourinho.
Oh, hell, Hazem, I know you're joking. You can't.
Hell
You
no,
can't
that guy is
no.
finished. He should stick to
Mourinho's on the
Bundesliga.
decline. You got a declining team in Real Madrid. You can't put the two together now. That would just be
No,
a recipe. for
obviously
disaster.
to make some signings in the summer, but obviously.
Mourinho's moved on from this kind of job. He shouldn't be managing Real Madrid next. That's not a good fit.
All right, Hazem, break of the game.
Yeah, first of all, Daniel needs to put some respect on Madrid's name. You can't call them the whole club because they won 3 in a row. They can do whatever they want now. You can't say anything about.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
but well, because your team, because
Yeah, so
Paulo
no. Okay, so
Perez has
the,
been
It's
playing
true though,
playing
Daniel.
moving
big.
It's
on,
true
That's
though,
moving on.
that's
Daniel.
the
You have
reason why.
13 kills.
I
It's true,
dodgy
Daniel.
moving on to the brick
Let
of the
him
game.
land.
You have
Let
13
him
kills. You
land.
have 13 kills.
Moving on to the brick of the game, I would say, yeah, I would have to agree that it's Varane, and because especially for the second goal, that was a horrible mistake. How can you keep that guy on side? That's just a sign of the lack of leadership that he's able to employ, and he's dependent on Ramos' leadership. You need a leader like Ramos, so that for me was really disappointing for Varane. And also the first goal, his positioning was completely off. I know Cruz made the mistake, but he was way too deep and just ball watching. So yeah, has to be Varane for the brick of the game.
All right, Chijima.
My brick of the game is Modric, because
Oh,
if I picked a random guy from the streets and told him
you can't
the
pick one.
best, if I picked a random guy from the street and told him, can you identify the best player in the world? You couldn't tell. You couldn't tell who the best player in the world was in the pitch, because Modric. I mean, De Jong just the first leg. I mean, the first half, De Jong was amazing, and it's like,
Yeah.
where's Modric?
He literally
And Tony
nutmegged him.
Cruz. I
Literally
mean, Tony
nutmegged.
Cruz. When someone said he's a diesel tractor, they were right probably, because Tony Cruz just disappeared. He disappeared. It's like, where's Tony Cruz?
I
And
agree.
like and Carvajal again. I mean, every time I mentioned this already, but every time Ajax were about to score, Modric was the one tracking back, and I was like, "Where's Carvajal?" Like every time on the right, "Where's Carvajal?" But my brick of the game is Modric. I think Modric
I
he
thought
should have done
you
better.
just said he was tracking back and doing.
No, but he was dominated. He was dominated. Even though he was tracking back, like it was a poor performance by Modric. I expect more.
Was than Varane and Carvajal. You're saying that.
Yeah, but I expect more from Modric. Like they lost the midfield battle really bad, because it's like what did even Modric do? I couldn't tell if he was in the game.
But you only expect more from Modric if you actually buy into the ludicrous agenda that he's the best player in the world.
And that's why I'm saying,
Yeah,
like
that's rich,
they said he's the best player in the world. I didn't see any best player in the world.
Last
Exactly.
season,
Exactly.
no, wait.
Exactly.
Look,
Okay,
okay,
all
this,
right,
this,
all
this is
right.
the problem.
Machine. What's
Okay, so in a macro sense, of course, I guess Perez has to take it absolutely. But in terms of the players, as long as he laces up his boots and steps onto a pitch, it's going to be Benzema. Always the brick, master brick, headmaster brick.
wow? All right, that's harsh. Munzaha.
Yeah, man. Like HH, man. First of all, look, I don't consider Benzema as to be a player of Madrid. So this is like obviously it's Perez's fault. Yeah, like okay for that. But if we're talking for this game, especially, it's Rafael Varane. We want you to step up in this big game. We want you to perform like like Ramos, what he did in the first leg. We want you to to win the balls. We want you to score the goal. Yeah, he missed it clearly,
Oh
and
yeah.
that was the most easiest run. So obviously, Rafael Varane is like break of this game. Yeah.
Saswa.
Yeah, Varane is, I think, in my opinion, also he's the brick of the game. But I think I didn't expect that much from Varane, to be honest. Especially if you watched last year's Juventus second leg, because Sergio Ramos was also was missing that game. I mean, Varane was exposed a lot, so wasn't expecting a lot from Varane. But still, if I had to pick, I would pick Solari as well, because Casemiro is not good in the ball, and you are allowing him to control the midfield. I mean, that's down to Solari. Solari knows this fact, especially after the Barcelona games, but still he sticks to the same tactics. I mean, Solari has to take also the blame as well.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so to sort of round this off, Real Madrid have taken a huge, massive L. This is going to hurt. This, for me, has to be one of the lowest points in Real Madrid's career. So, where do Real Madrid go from here? What do you think happens? Do you feel that, fast forward to, let's say, the summer, because they're officially going to finish trophyless this season. So tell me what happens. Who leaves? What comes in? Do you think that there is still a brighter future?
It's only going to go downhill from here. It's only going to go.
Let me learn. What do you think needs to happen for Real Madrid next season for them to come back? Or do you think it is over for them and they'll be decline for the next few years? Let me start off with Barca.
Yeah, this is a good question. I'm gonna say they have to go for a rampage of signings in the summer. Whoever you can get, whatever world class player you can get,
Or
you
just
gotta
add
go for it.
players?
What's it?
Do they sell any of these players, or they just need to buy and add to these players?
I don't care who they buy. They need to buy every world class player that's out there. Like that's how Real Madrid should be operating this summer. Because what I see with this team is there's serious elements, serious recruitment that needs to be done to this Real Madrid team. Like serious, like some real serious stuff. So yeah.
All right, Daniel.
From I said it. I think from top to bottom, like their club just needs refurbishing. Like I think Perez needs to leave because he's not good enough. He's a terrible owner. Like they just
It's not
need
an
to. They
owner.
need
He's
to
not
be
an
good.
owner, man. First of all, he's not an
He's
owner.
a
Yeah, he's
terrible
president.
president, whatever it is.
Let's let you guys talk, man. Let's let this guys speak.
Like they need to go. They need to be ruthless this summer. They need to be ruthless this
Does
summer.
anyone need to be sold? Who needs to be sold or no selling?
Gareth Bale needs to be sold. Their midfield needs refurbishing. Their their defense from top to bottom. I don't even like. I said it from day. I don't know why they. Halo Navas here was good enough. I don't know why they signed Courtois. Like it still baffles me to this day why they signed Courtois when they had Halo Navas.
Okay, Darren.
Well, I would say they need to make signings, but I feel like the climate of the way transfers are nowadays, I don't think they have as much power as they did back in the day. So, in terms of what they need to do now, yes, they need to try and their best to make the signings that they want to do, but whether they can do.
So are you saying that Real Madrid don't have the same pull as they once would have had?
I won't say they won't have the same pool because they're still a great club. They're still a big club. Players still look at them and would want to wear their shirt. It's more of a question of whether the club can actually attain certain players. And I feel like that will be a thing. And I'm waiting to see this summer how they will react. Because obviously now they don't even have the Champions League to keep carrying on it. So that's definitely some revenue gone. And yeah, it's gonna be tough, but they're gonna have to try their best to make their signings. But if not, I think this might be the start of a down for Real Madrid.
But they're gonna.
Yeah, first and foremost, Solari isn't older. He needs to be taken out because the Bernabeu stinks right now. You need to bring in somebody with fresh ideas, someone who can provide something new and just basically steer them into the top four for the season because that's still they still should get top four, but they need someone to just make sure they definitely get that. So with top four, I see no reason why they shouldn't be able to attract players that would again obviously benefit the squad, and I think it's still an attractive team to go to. Obviously, they are still the biggest team in the world. I think the proposition of being able to take Real Madrid back to being a Champions League winning team, a title winning team, I think will be something that any player would want to do. So I think a striker, obviously a forward, maybe a midfielder will be what they need, and they've got some good young players coming through. So there's no reason why they can't be back in 2 or 3 years' time. But yeah, they just need to hit a really big reset button now. Paris needs to dig deep into those pockets, and there's no reason why they shouldn't be able to be back at the top within a couple of years' time.
All right, how's it?
Yeah, in terms of the what this year is, it's a transition year. Like obviously, it's a blip. It's gonna happen. That's success in football doesn't last forever. And after you win 3 in a row, obviously you're gonna go down at some point. And this is the transition year when the biggest star left, and obviously Zidane left. And so this is the year where they're getting back to stuff. The most important now is to just stick to just maintaining your position in the league. Make sure you make top four, obviously, and that's all you can do. In the summer, however, the main things you need to focus on is, I think, first of all, you need to get a proper finisher. You need somebody who can finish because that's been the major issue this season. So get somebody like Mbappe and Icardi, someone like that. Also, who you should get rid of? You should get rid of Bale, Isco, and Varane to make funds. And to replace Varane, get someone like Koulibaly. And obviously get someone like Mbappe for the attack. And I think it's just a few signings that they need. I don't think they need to get rid of anyone else, and they'll be back on track. They'll be back on the top. And as for the pull of the club, I think they still have the biggest pull. Obviously, the biggest club of all time. And you know,
It's true. It's true.
players growing up. Obviously, there's the money factor, but they're like players dream to play for mostly these three clubs: Madrid, Barca, and Milan. So yeah, so I think they're always going to have a pull. Yeah,
It's true.
Wait,
It's true.
that's
Look up Wikipedia. Check UEFA.com. It's true.
yeah, that's
wait,
it.
Double H. There's an echo, I think.
Players
Oh,
don't
oh,
link for AC Milan in 2019. Let's just
Yeah. Third place.
Jujima.
with Madrid, I mean, the players that need to be sold, Bale needs to be sold because I had that. Bale needs to leave, and what's his name? Vinicius is no good enough for Madrid. He's a good bench player, but not a starter. Lucas Vasquez, another bench player. Modric needs to probably be on the bench. They need a new, fresh midfielder, and for the defenders, Regular should start. Marcelo should either rotate or should be sold because Regular was good. And as for the coach, they need someone with discipline, like who'll put in discipline, like Conte
Mourinho?
or maybe Mourinho. Yeah,
Mourinho,
but they need bro, they need
Can I ask you
Wait,
they
wait,
something?
need
Mourinho.
someone.
No, wait, Mourinho
Wait,
is really
wait,
good.
How the hell did
wait.
you
They
mention
need
all those players and you didn't mention Benzema?
Wait, guys, when it's
no. Because Benzema, we know Florentino won't get rid of Benzema, so I won't even waste my energy
Yeah,
on Benzema.
400 million.
And what's it called? Because Madrid, this team lacks discipline. And the days I told you, the days where people on the weekend to Girona and then expect to win on the during the week is over. Like it caught up with them finally. But for Madrid, I mean, everyone says they expected this, but I mean, 4-1. Like you can't. This is a disgrace. Like it's a disgrace.
All right, machine. Please.
It's worse than losing to Roma. It's worse.
Well, I think it's absolutely ruinous from here on in. Ronaldo carried Real. That much is obvious. They need at least like four. I would say five, but at minimum four major signings, which in today's market, Real just doesn't have the cash to spare.
So they are poor. You're saying Real Madrid don't have any money?
No, not enough. Not enough.
What if they sell the major
You
players?
need, because you need three superstar signings at the bare minimum. And Neymar, who Perez is obsessed with bringing in, I'm not even sure if he's going to be successful, but if he does come in, that's 400 mil out the window. And then you're left with slim pickings to work out the rest. And there's still a lot of positions you need to fill. Modric is over the hill. I was saying this when he won the Ballon d'Or. But, like I said, credit to him for winning the official no way we're letting Ronaldo break the deadlock with Messi award. But yeah.
All right, Munzaha.
Yeah, man. HH, look, first of all, the next thing, I think so, like coming season, like when coming transfer window, I think so we are going for Jose Mourinho. I'll tell you why. Because this guy, he knows Madrid well, and he knows the ethos of like how the Madrid football clubs we are runs. Secondly, if any manager who has audacity to bench Benzema is Jose Mourinho. Look, I don't think so. Like we are going to sell Benzema, but like I think so we can bench him. Secondly, Gareth Bale needs to leave. Third, what is his name, man? Marcelo, yeah. Marcelo is done deal for us. I'm telling you, man. He's not anymore that reliable player, or is not as much as creative as he used to be. In fact, last season. So these three players needs to leave. With Isco, look. What I'm saying to you, if Isco leaves the club, yeah, and Mourinho, because look, we know Mourinho is like his philosophy and his playing style. Player like Isco won't, harness into his system or won't suit his system that much compared to when he plays with the players like Modric and Toni Kroos. Look, Toni Kroos is done deal as well. But I want Isco to move out to generate the money of approximately. Look, if we sell these four players here, easily we're generating 200 millions. Easily. Yeah. And with that 200 millions, we need to buy a right winger and a striker. And on top of that, I want one one more thing.
Any player, any winger, any striker. That should be yours.
But,
Yeah.
hold on.
player.
But
No, but the
is
goal.
that, do you-
No. Can I say? Look. For 200 mils, yeah. If you just pay for Mbappe, it's worth right now, as per the current market trends.
Yeah,
It's worth.
it's
And
agreed.
look, and
Who
Icardi
can
as well.
afford
Yeah.
Mbappe?
What? Are you
No
mad,
team
bro?
can
Do you
afford
know?
Mbappe
No.
or Neymar. PSG are not selling.
He said if you sell, yeah,
No,
if you sell
yeah,
these.
if
PSG
you
are not
sell.
selling anyone.
I don't
No.
think Mbappe is
No,
going to go
what
to
if
Real Madrid.
what if PSG wins Champions League this season? What if?
Listen
Yeah.
to
So what I'm saying to you, look, Icardi, look, the condition with the Inter, yeah, and Icardi is like horrible right now.
Yeah.
To get Icardi is not a difficult task to for
But
us.
Icardi
Yeah.
said he wants to stay in Italy.
And listen,
Depends. It depends, bro. Like players says many things as well.
what is happening to him right now. Icardi is a strong possibility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Cardi's
the
up.
final,
Look
look,
at what
final
they're doing.
transfer, yeah. You hate it.
Did Cardi give you a superstar signing?
Okay, wait.
What?
Matana.
Hate it. And the final thing, yeah. If we want to, like, learn this guy, man, what his name, Mbappe from PSG, yeah, we can offer Varane with a swap deal and some extra cash, 100 mils.
Wait,
that's
Muta,
possible.
why would they take your garbage? Why would they take your garbage?
Do you think?
Like,
No.
Not that bad.
Does PSG has the great defense? What are you talking about? Look at
Yeah,
this guy.
PSG
yes,
Thiago
they
Silva,
do.
33, 34.
Yeah,
You guys
Marquinhos,
still players from
Kimpembe,
Ajax.
Kera.
Marquinhos isn't a
Still
good
players
defender. He
from
plays
Ajax,
CDM.
bro.
Marquinhos
Marquinhos
is not
plays
a defender.
CDM.
Come on, man.
He
Still
plays.
players from
Still,
Ajax
all
too.
those players are not
Yeah.
worth trading in to giving away Mbappe for that. Just not worth it. To give Varane,
Yeah,
that's
so
not worth it.
these are the four positions. Right winger, striker, and defender. And
Still
on top
players
of that,
from Ajax.
midfielder.
Still players from Ajax. Hijack Ajax squad.
Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, next season will also be a kind of a blimp for them, and I don't think next season they're going to win anything. I mean, it's disastrous as AC Milan, where the club is dissolved and they're going to go 10th position in the league. But yeah, but it's still going to be trophyless. In my opinion, it's going to be trophyless next season. Maybe they will win a Super Cup or a Copa del Rey trophy. In my opinion, if they want to go for players, they are definitely going to sell Bale. I mean, that's out of the question. They're definitely going to sell Bale, and I think the first thing is they should get a striker who's a goal scorer like Harry Kane or Icardi. Icardi is a more cheap option, so I think they're going to, and they definitely need a midfielder and defender. I mean, and in terms of managers, Ancelotti is a good choice, but I think Mourinho will be a perfect fit, especially the defense weak, a little bit weak this season. It will add solidity in the defense, and they have the perfect players for counter attack with Vinicius and Rodrigo, who will be coming next season. They have the perfect players for playing counter attacking football. So they have the perfect players for that, and Mourinho is also good at training in set pieces as well. So that's also they have been lacking this season. So Mourinho will be a good fit for them, especially with the market they have. But Ancelotti will be a good fit.
Okay, all right. So guys, look,
Listen,
rounding off, guys, look. They got beat, they got embarrassed, they got smacked down. This is guys, mark this moment. This is a serious moment in Real Madrid.
I already marked it in my diary, HH. I already marked it in my diary.
And we just have to just accept this and keep it well. And Karim Benzema is not leaving the academy till at least 2020 summer. Guys, peace out, stay true, stay blessed.